Hi, everyone. This is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a weekend forecast for my no contact relationships, low communication, no contact for Friday, August 22nd through Sunday, August 24th. If you are not interested in knowing about your past person, this reading isn't for you. Check out your singles weekend forecast for somebody new coming your way. But for those of you that are thinking about somebody, a person on your mind, we're going to ask Spirit today with lots of cards, initials, and some charms. What is going on around this energy? I thought that I would try this as a new reading. If this is something you're interested in, please let me know for my no contacts out there. In the comments if you enjoyed this reading or this was helpful to you or you connected to it. Also a reminder, my Twin Flame Soulmate channel, the link is in the description and it has lots of no contact twin flame readings on it. So you may be interested in those as well. Let's see what's going on with the energy around your person for the weekend. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know, things to think about, things that may be happening, coming towards you. So energy going on around you or about to happen. I mean, it's tagged as a weekend reading, but whenever you find this reading, I always feel like it's meant to be heard. But let's call in our spirit guides now. Spirit, I ask for loving messages. What is it that you need us to know at this time? What is it that you want us to hear? I am listening for you now. It wasn't you, it was me. I am to be blamed. I accept fault for this. So a lot of people will do that. They'll say, it's not you, it's me. I need space. And, that's somehow their way of backing out. They try to, make you feel a little bit better, but maybe it was them. Maybe it was them. Maybe they are to blame, something. Sorry, I did not see your value and your worth when we were together. Boy, that's a good one. Just this feeling of I wasn't sure about, this connection. And then after I'm out of it, I realized that you're a really great person or we're really great together. Why is it always after the, like it's an epiphany afterwards that they realize what they've lost? I should have listened to my intuition. My intuition was telling me this was a great connection, that you were a good person for me. I kick myself for sabotaging this relationship. My life won't be the same. So you've got somebody who you can see the regret. You can see that I'm starting to have feelings of why did I do this? Why did I push you away? All of those things, but they always see it. They always feel that way afterwards. It's like when they start to get lonely, Spirit said, when they start to feel the void. I listened to the wrong people and they were wrong about you. So a little bit of gossip feels like maybe somebody was chirping in their ear that for whatever reason isn't on your side, but maybe they were, listening to other people. You got to make your own choices in life. Other people can't tell you who to be with or, not be with. Judgment. I'm making the decision once and for all to turn this around. Boy, that would be awesome. I want to turn this around. I want to see what happens. I got to tell you, my overall energy heading into this reading right now is just a feeling of I made a mistake. Life hasn't been too nice to me, and I took that out on you. Having a hard time at work, struggling with bills, struggling with I'm so busy, fighting with people, family members, bosses, struggling in some way. And then all of a sudden you take it out on the person you love. I've not given up on you, even though it may seem like it. So is somebody out there thinking of you and still wondering, how can I fix things? It's a little bit of that energy happening. I kept the wrong company around who interfered with this beautiful connection. I feel like they were listening to people chirping in their ears, whether it was friends or a particular family member or, God forbid, an ex that they're listening to. But it is a feeling of just shouldn't have listened, and that's on them. They've got to make up. They got to make up their own mind without somebody, like they're saying chirping in my ear. That's not cool. Spirit, please share with me. I have crumbs stringing you along, an unequal love. It's got to be more. And you could be feeling this, like, I'm not interested in your crumbs. I'm not interested in you giving me just a little bit of your time or a little bit of your energy. That doesn't seem enough for me. I'm frozen. I've shut down. So this person feels like they're in limbo. They may have put themselves in limbo, but they may be surprised that their life isn't working the way it was. It's not moving along. You could have been a really good person to help manage their life. Like, where are you going next? What time you need to be there? Maybe reminding them of things that they had to do. So maybe they're struggling with, now they got to manage their own life all by themselves. That could be going on. I have a trap, a setup, luring, baiting you. A little bit of a be careful with, I don't know, if they have been stringing you along for a while, like, what's going to change? This is more of, if they come back and they want to talk, they're going to say all the right things, Spirit's saying, but you really need to go back to, yeah, but there were so long that I didn't get enough from you, or that you so easily listened to somebody else and you ignored my point of view, something like that. So you've got to have that conversation, covering up a problem, ignoring the obvious, and attempting to fix it. So there's definitely a problem. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in no contact right now. We can't just make it all go away. Spirit just said, we can't just say, okay, let's just pretend none of this happened. Let's just pretend that, we haven't had this no contact and sweep it under the rug. That's when it comes back to haunt us, because it is a feeling of, we have to address it, right? We have to address the crumbing. I've got taking a risk and into the unknown. If I come back into your life, am I taking another risk? Am I rolling the dice? Are you accepting this person again with the same kind of risk that you had the first time? In that time, you didn't even know that person. They're asking me for a couple more, so let's grab those. I have them confused. I feel unsure. It's become so complicated. Little bit of, when did it get so complicated? Maybe it was easier in the beginning, and that now all of a sudden there's all kinds of people in the mix. There's all kinds of drama. There's chaos. There's confusion. When did it get so complicated? When did we start playing head games? When did we start, I don't know, just kind of fooling each other with, where do we go from here? I need a more substantial base, is how I feel. I feel like I just need somebody to be, I guess, show up a little bit more. And, I get that they have regrets. They're probably missing you. But what's going to be different this time is really the question on the table. And what made it so complicated? I have a 6 of Wands. I have a Queen of Wands. I have a 9 of Cups. And I have a Fool. I got to tell you, this is very much, I remember capturing you the first time. You're still the only one that does it for me. I was happier when I was with you. And can we start again? I mean, it's definitely a feeling of, what did I do? This feeling overall of, why Why is it so complicated, Spirit? Because it feels like it was really good. I have a Wheel of Fortune. I have a 5 of Pentacles. I have a 3 of Wands. And I have a Justice card. This is coming into me as a fear of commitment, fear of my future. Even if I feel like we're supposed to be together, something's going on around this person with money, or could have been a divorce that they had. They walked away with nothing. They had to start all over again, or they feel like they got the raw end of the deal. But there's definitely a fear around money, and there's a fear around money connected to a commitment. So are they pushing this away because they don't want to face the reality of being committed to another person, you know, being committed even financially and connected to another person financially? So that could be hurting you, that why don't you want to be, you know, in a real relationship with me, you know, whether we live together and share expenses, or whether we are, you know, engaged and we're thinking about being married. Like, where's this fear coming from? I have a Knight of Pentacles and I have a Sun. So this is coming into me as a new beginning and working towards solving some of these money issues. Maybe money has been a problem. Maybe the money's getting easier. Maybe the work is coming in. Maybe they've changed jobs. Maybe they have gotten out of debt. They could be in a different situation, or things are getting better. I do feel like that's affecting this connection. I do feel that this person has a lot on their plate, and it's like, if I'm going to be starting over again, I've got to be in a better financial situation. So did they push you away because they're not where they want to be? Possibly. Let's get some initials. Maybe some of you will confirm your initials, Spirit. First initials, maybe you'll spell your person's name. Last initials. I have the letter P. I have an F, W. I have an F. I have a Q. I have an I. I have a Q, E, the letter A. I have an E, a G, F, an H, K, X, another G. I have a V. Let's get 2 more. I have the letter K and I have an S. So some of you may definitely be connecting to those, and others, you know, if you are just, you didn't connect to your person, don't worry about it. They're just a handful of clues that I like to do, just to see if we can get a little bit of evidence. Spirit, please share with me. Tell me more about feelings. What is my person thinking and feeling? How do I fix things? When did things get so complicated? A goodbye. The moment has come to part ways. Our paths are diverging, and it's time to let go. I feel like that's what they can't face. It's a little bit of a, is it really goodbye? Sometimes you're in separation and you know that it's just time off. Okay. Other times, you know, it's really goodbye. You know, it's, you know, that it's definitely over. But I'm not feeling that as much because of the regrets. But it's crossing their mind. Maybe you guys haven't talked for a long time, and it's starting to move into the territory of, is it really, really over? I mean, when I left or I needed a break, maybe I half-heartedly thought that it was just temporary. I have apathetic. I prefer to remain focused on my own life right now. So maybe that's what they said to you. Maybe they said to you, I need to focus on me. I need to get my life in, you know, organized. I need to figure out what I want. I need to get my life and my act together. I'm not where I want to be. And maybe they just were holding back and not pulling themselves together. So maybe that was a reason. I have health. I'm here to support your journey towards wellness and balance. that's more of a feeling of I pray that you are healthy. I pray that everything is always okay with you. I'm always concerned. I'm always thinking about you, that you're okay. The kids are okay. You know, so that feels like those feelings haven't gone away. Like, how are you feeling? Revenge. I'm looking to damage you in retaliation for perceived wrongs. Boy, it could be I talked to the wrong person, or maybe we have been on this kind of playing games with revenge. I would say more about trying to make you jealous, or I've been posting on social media that I'm having a great time with my friends or dating somebody new. And I'm doing it all in the back of my mind, trying to get you riled up, trying to make you upset. Probably not proud of it, probably not something that they thought they'd ever be doing, but you know, love makes us crazy. Safe space. I accept and respect you for who you are and ask only for the same in return. I feel like I want to say truce now. I feel that maybe we've been going back and forth with some revenge stuff. Maybe we have been saying things that we knew was going to hurt the other person somehow, and it would get back to them, and you knew it was going to hurt them in some way. But now I feel like I want a truce. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be, I just don't even want to be thinking along those lines. You know, sometimes in that very beginning, we're both so heated that we do and say things we shouldn't. Keeping a promise. I should have kept the promise. And that's probably what you're the most upset about right now. I made promises to you and I didn't keep them. Maybe you're thinking, you told me you love me. You told me you wanted a future with me. You told me that, you know, things were going to get better. A fake apology. I didn't believe you when you reached out the first time. You gotta, it can't be just I'm sorry and we're right back where we were. Okay. It's gotta be with meaning, Spirit just said, and it's gotta be that this person has to show you with actions. You know, I'll show you, it's like, I'll show you that I'm sorry. That's what has to happen. They have to show you, because just saying I'm sorry, you know, if they just message you or text you and say I'm sorry, you know, like, is that enough? I mean, to justify not talking to somebody for a period of time? No, it's not going to be enough. Expecting a new beginning. Okay, they're saying expecting a baby. Maybe we have a bigger reason to be together. Maybe we have a child together. Maybe we were anticipating having a child together, or planning on having children together someday. So yeah, we would definitely you'd definitely have to show me that you're sorry. You'd have to take action in more ways than once. Trash, throwing away and getting rid of the old stuff. Can we get rid of the pain? Okay, that's really what Spirit's asking us, you know, getting rid of the pain, getting rid of the hurt that we've caused each other. It's sometimes we can, and sometimes it's just so hurtful. It's really, really hard. So, you know, we just have a hard time getting back. A pregnancy test. This expecting energy for some of you, maybe there's a pregnancy out there. Maybe they pushed, maybe they're pushing this connection away because pregnancy is on the table and they weren't expecting it and they need time to think about it. They're not sure what they want. They don't want to be forced into parenthood when they're not ready. So for some of you, it could be that, you know, we had a surprise pregnancy and it kind of changed things. Betrayal, deceit, backstabbing, not be trusted. Did you betray me? If this is an apology based on you lied to me, you better have some good answers. You better have a good reason as to, you know, what you're going to do differently this time. So that has to happen. Already knowing the tea, I already kind of feel like what you're going to say to me, or I already know that we have to get rid of whatever the pain is that caused this. You know, we just need to talk about it and work it out, work it through. But I'm going to go with this. I'll show you that I'm sorry. I kind of feel good about that. A divorce, keeping a promise, right? If you guys are actually married, breaking a spiritual promise of a marriage. You know, do we really want to get divorced? We're separated, but do we really, is it really over? Are we really getting a divorce? So for some of you, it could be even more at stake than just, this is a relationship. You could have, you know, a lot at stake. Can I have one more of these? And I'm tired of the drama. I feel like that somewhere along the line, something happened with, it became complicated in some way. And either I just can't deal with the drama. I can't deal with the emotions. I can't deal with every time I see you, you are, you know, asking me, what do I feel? What am I thinking? What do I want? So sometimes people just feel like they're backed into a corner and say, I just can't deal with it anymore. You know, so that's probably some of that may have been happening. Let's get some charms. Let's see if they'll share with me some charms, because maybe we'll get some new clues. Spirit, please share with me a little scoop of charms. We've got some signs and some additional letters, it looks like. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, so I have a Capricorn. I have a Libra. I have a Aries, the letter B. Okay. Let's see. Let me see what I'm feeling. Okay. Love. Okay. A camera. Huh. I have a Leo energy. Okay. So the camera came into me as I'm looking at pictures of you, but it was a little bit more of a, I'm going to put the love over here for a second, because it was a little bit of, it could be pictures that you've posted, recent pictures, and maybe you're looking really good. I've got this mirror. Maybe you're looking really good. You're looking really hot. You are looking sexy. You've transformed. You've changed somehow. So there's this feeling of, what am I missing? So that's coming into me. But I think the camera or the photos spark an urge. I'm going to use the word urge because it feels like an urge to call. Maybe it's out of nowhere. It's almost a sense of, I wasn't expecting to reach out, but I do. Like it's very compulsive, an urge, a compulsive urge that I wasn't expecting to do is how I feel right now. And it's based on a photograph. It could be photos in their phone. It could be they saw a photo of you. They received a photo of you somehow. But I feel like it was a snap decision where it was just enough to trigger them to realizing, like, I see you and I feel the hurt. And the hurt is so deep that compulsively I just have to text you, or I have to comment. I have to comment on the photo. I have to say something on the photo. So it's like creates a chain reaction that I guess starts us talking again. So I'm going to say it that way because it just feels like I wasn't expecting this. And the chain reaction, maybe they respond on like a social media site, and maybe then we start chatting just a little bit, and then we take it from there to private text messages, or within that app a message, and then we just start chatting a little bit, something like that. Pretty simple. I do have a fall leaf. I have flowers. I have, this is coming into me as like flowers, hearts, and butterflies for some reason. Okay. It's almost like I have all those same feelings. I have all those same feelings that I had when I first met you again. Butterflies, I'm excited. I have hope that, we can fix things. I have hope that things can get better. I've got this little bird chirping, two things. That little bird could be the person who was chirping in their ear. Or a part of me says, like, have you gotten rid of that little bird that was chirping before? But this overall energy is like birds and butterflies and bunnies, like I'm happy. I'm happy that they are responding. I'm happy that they commented, they reached out, you got some kind of reaction from them. But they definitely, it's like, how do I want to say it? A break in the dam, maybe a break in the ice, something like that. I have this knot. Okay. So it feels like we're tied together, knot. I'm going to say it that way. And then I have a leaf. So the falling leaf, turning over new leaf. So the energy is definitely shifting. I will say that we have to get rid of the pain and the cause of the pain. And I really did like when Spirit shared with me that I'll show you that I'm sorry, because that's what it's going to take. It's not going to be just words. It's going to have to be, you've got to show me more. Okay. So there is some of your charms. Those are really nice charms, nice messages. And let's get some additional final messages. Spirit, whoa, hold on a second. My cards are flying. I guess they have some additional messages. They're flying back here. Okay, let's see. Spirit, please share with me some additional love messages. What is it that you want my person to know? So do we have a compulsive urge to call or text? Maybe you're going to hear from them this weekend. When you look at me, it makes me feel worse. You see a side of me others don't, and I can't hide from you. So you know who they really are. I feel like they're ashamed a little bit about all of this. Did they run from the drama? Was it really that bad? Is it something that, it's like, hey, we're both in this, it's like, you can't just escape it and leave me here with this mess, something like that. I'm damaged and not deserving of your love. I don't think that's the case. I feel like you see a side of them that maybe no one else has. Maybe you see the side of them that is, good and kind and caring, and I guess wants to do the right thing. So there's obviously you're in love with this person. I look at your pictures for hours on end and you are still so beautiful. I feel like something has happened with the pictures. Okay. Something is going on with picture spark. There's this sense of picture spark. Photos. Okay. Spark, this urge. So if you're posting new photos, if you are getting their attention on some kind of social media, that is what's happening. Maybe they saw you with your friends. Maybe you look amazing. Maybe you've lost weight. Maybe you've changed your hair. Maybe it's your birthday pictures and they wanted to say happy birthday. Anything. I'm feeling emotionally void without you. So here comes the response. I look at some kind of photo of you and immediately I realize how much hurt is in my heart. And I don't give it a second thought. I immediately respond. I text, I call, I have to hear your voice. I have to see you. I have to know. And usually that's what happens in a no contact. They don't put a lot of thought into the when. It's usually they just get this compulsive energy that whether it's they're texting in the middle of the night, Spirit just said. So it feels like it's a very late night energy. So that you could hear from them very late in the night, you know, a little bit of a drunken text, but maybe they've been out with friends. Maybe the friends showed pictures of you, or I don't know, but it feels like some kind of late night call. I know I failed you and let you down big time. You made me see a side of me that I've grown to hate. Yeah, so there's you know me better than anybody. I'm not proud of myself right now. Give me more time. I'm working on being a better counterpart for you. Okay. I regret my past mistakes and wish I can have another chance with you. So it could be as simple as that. It could be, I'll show you that I'm sorry. And something is triggering them. Can I have one more, Spirit? You deserve much more than I could give at the time. You deserve a lot, and they're going to have to show you. They're going to have to show you that you do deserve. You absolutely deserve more. So we're going to put this out into the universe, but we may, for some of you, feel someone who is ready to break. That's the, you know, what do I want to say? A breaking point. I think that, you know, they finally give in, something like that. I'm going to say that's really what's going on. They see that picture and they have this kind of physical, emotional reaction, and they just give in. Let's put this out into the universe. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words and comments. If anyone would like to book a private reading with me, check out my website at kathymamolinspsychicmedium.com. Also, a reminder of the 2 other YouTube channels. I have a Pick a Card channel, and I also have a Twin Flame Soulmate channel, which has lots of no contact readings on it. So I'll put the links in the description below. Take a ride over there. Check those readings out for some messages there as well. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you all again real soon.